We are now live. Hello,
Yeah.
hello. Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Slam Jam Wrestling Show here on the Extreme Improv Extremes YouTube channel, as well as the Slam Jam Wrestling Show YouTube channel as well. Just search Slam Jam Wrestling and it'll come up on all of the social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X for Extremed, and all that good stuff. Now, we're going to be discussing all kinds of things that's happening in the wacky world of professional wrestling. And we have an expert panel, and we may even get a run in a minute or two. But for now, say hello to the people. Dave.
Hello, people. How are you doing? It's Dave here in Southend-on-Sea in Essex, and yes, it's one of those things. I don't know if you wanted to do a fact. Hey, goes it. Hey.
Yes, if you have a random fact, I should have said. If you have a random wrestling fact, do enlighten us.
Well, no, my random fact, and I don't know if anyone's aware of this, is that apparently Jinder Mahal hasn't had a singles victory in the last 364 days, and it's a very little-known fact that hasn't.
Wow, where did you hear such a fact?
Someone called Tony Khan on Twitter. On X.
Never heard of him.
I was going to say familiar, but no.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, but he's getting a title
Sounds like a mark.
Damned, it should not be happening, should it? Obviously.
No, absolutely. Now, say hello to the people, and if you have some random facts as well, especially of that nature, because that was good. KD, say hello to the people.
What up, people? I am KD, comedic babyface, everybody's favourite. Random fact: I had Jimmy Havoc perform for me at one of my comedy shows, and you didn't use the name Jimmy Havoc, and I didn't realise till about halfway through the night. And yes, it was after he got fired from AEW. So that's as far as I can go.
Wow. Incognito. Yeah. Wow. How about
Incognito?
That? Yeah.
His name was something like Jimmy Parsons or something. I can't even remember. Jimmy something.
Jimmy
how he was going by. yeah, that was it.
Wow. Okay. Well, that reminds me. Later on the show, we've got a guy called Chris Jericho or something like that. He sounds like a swell guy, but we'll find out. Now, anyway, Gav, say hello to the people.
Hello, people. How you guys doing?
Good.
Well, to you three, because I can't hear anyone else.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a wrestling fact for us, Gav?
A wrestling fact. Probably just what's been released recently. I don't know if you guys touched on it already. And that was just about Jericho getting knocked out on his own cruise.
Oh, we haven't touched on that today, but I literally read about that this morning. Was that MVP?
That's MVP, yeah.
All the stories are coming out now, man.
Does anyone know what the story is there? Because I think I heard something months ago or a year ago where they'd had words or had an argument at an airport or something.
Yeah, I think they've had a few issues beforehand, and it's some of it may be to do with Jericho's wife and a particular date in January. I don't know. Yeah, so we'll leave it there.
A date in January. He was saying MVP didn't have a date with Jericho's wife. Is what it is.
No, better not say that.
Yeah, MVP had a date with Jericho's wife in January. Yeah,
had it, and said, "Oh, January 6th doesn't work for me, MVP. Sorry, I'm busy."
Wow, how about that? And actually, on the subject of Jericho, I shared it on our group chat. The fact that he had a podcast come out where he was like, Sky Blue is red hot. I was like maybe he'd already recorded that, but come on, that's just going to flame the fires, surely.
Yeah.
He's never going to acknowledge it, is he? He's never ever going. The fact that they played Judas on repeat during the segment,
Hey, look, playing the music throughout worked for New Jack, so it can work for Jericho. It just goes to show he is a gangster. So what can I say?
New Jericho.
That's the first thing I think when I look at Jericho. I think gangster. To be fair.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
He's had a fight with a lot of people. To be fair.
I didn't catch either one of who ever spoke that.
I said I think of a similar word that sounds like gangster, but slightly different.
Start with a W, right?
All right. I was quite slow on the uptake there. Okay, so guys, there has been some stuff happening within the world of wrestling. As we mentioned, I think we should start off about not hindering the jindering. I kind of messed that up with my pronunciation. Right, so don't hinder the jinder. Jinder Mahal is going to be the next world champion as of Monday Night Raw. Has to happen.
Has to. I think this is a mankind moment, isn't it?
It's the most
Well,
over he's
yeah.
ever. It's the most over he's been in like ever. I think, isn't
It
it?
really is though now,
Last
yeah.
2
Especially with
weeks.
the hook comment as well. I think a lot of people really
And
like
who's
from
the
him.
ultimate pusher? Who made him a superstar? Oh man,
Yeah.
TK.
Yeah,
To
absolutely.
be fair, he's done a better job pushing Jinder Mahal than he has half his own roster.
He did a better job pushing Jinder than he did pushing Hook.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if people would have just accepted, like, oh yeah, so like they're doing this with Hook or whatever, but
Yeah.
because he's tried to like elevate Hook over Jinder, people are like, what did Jinder do wrong? Why did he deserve this? But no,
I wish
like,
Jinder hadn't deleted his tweet though. That was brilliant. He went,
That was
"Who
pretty
the
good.
fuck is Hook?" And then at the end doing the thing of, "Watch Monday Night Raw live on the USA Network."
yeah.
It's smart though because he gets himself out of trouble a little bit though, but he also knows everyone would have seen it. They would have screenshotted it. You know, it's still there, and we all know.
Yeah.
Like, but it's an interesting dynamic though, because even though he is a former world champion, you have to believe that Jinder Mahal, especially over until this week, Jinder Mahal must have always been expecting to get future endeavored, even having been a former world champion. And so, is he like, you know, would Tony Khan take him now? And also for Tony Khan, was that him just saying, "Look, I'm never going to hire you, Jinder"?
That's what I took it
It
as.
is now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hire Jinder.
And maybe, in fact, maybe this means that he now would hire Jinder.
You never know.
Yeah.
So I'd
Get
everyone
himself
else.
over.
Yeah.
I can see Jinder doing the Matt Cardona route.
Could do. You know, he certainly could do. Although very few people seem to, like, I saw an interview or something with Matt Cardona recently where he was saying that like hardly anyone puts in like the effort that he does, and like, you know, just does everything they can, and they like waste opportunities. And I do see it. Like when you see all of the people that were released at the same time as him, he's the only one that is really in your face on social media, getting headlines and stuff.
That's true.
Yeah. When did he get released?
Well, at the beginning of the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, around about that time, yeah.
So I think 2000. I don't think it was even
Yeah.
2001. I think it was 2000.
2000.
2020.
2020.
Right, yeah, the year 2000. When he was,
The pandemic's been going a while, but it's not been going that
like
long.
5.
I was going to say that was only a couple of days
14
ago.
years old. Yeah, 2000. Wow.
He got released before he even got hired.
Yeah.
Imagine what the discussions in that house must be like though between him and Chelsea Green about wrestling and stuff as well.
Yeah.
Like some of the stuff they've done between them as well now over this past few years, like Chelsea Green getting into WWE as well. Kind of amazing how it's changed and that's flipped completely. Did you see the story about him with the tag team title, the women's tag title?
Yeah.
Was that which one? I think so, but go ahead.
Just where he he didn't ask her and he appeared on the indie show just the night after she won it or something.
Yeah.
He bought his own replica one, and then everybody assumed it was the actual title belt. I assumed it too.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
I guess you got that same
great.
dynamic with Nick Aldis and what's her name? Mickey James.
Mickey?
Yeah. So.
Well, yeah, like, you know, amazingly, I'd love to know the story of why he's been hired now just to be an authority figure, but hadn't been hired.
My conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
You know, UK Gladiators are coming back.
Yeah.
They just didn't want him on there. So.
Oh, right. Yeah. So
there you go.
That
fits.
I'm sure he was really considering that. Oh man, it's on the BBC now. We've got to do it.
It's got the same
Bradley
theme
Walsh,
tune,
man.
Oh,
yeah.
really? Oh, right. Okay.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, exactly. But unless they've got the classic referee, like the Scottish guy, then I'm not interested.
I think it's probably like an iron lung right now.
I don't know if we're doing points and things like that. Bonus point for anyone who can tell me what other wrestler was also on that Gladiators series with Nick Aldis.
Yeah. Nick Aldis. So
one,
he was Oblivion, right?
Yeah.
I forget.
There was another wrestler.
There was another wrestler who's done very well for himself and is known.
Is it?
Was known.
I didn't even know Nick Aldis was legit. I thought it was a joke about Nick Aldis being a gladiator.
No,
No,
he started off as
Yeah,
Gladiator
that's true.
before he was in TNA.
Yeah,
Was
and
the
he
American
brought back
Gladiator.
TNA.
No,
with
okay, let's
Brutus
bring it.
Magnus.
I was
I'm
going
not-
to say that's the first time I saw him, and me
Yeah.
and my brother was like,
Huh?
"Look at "This
Do you
guy,
know, you know the other
this
guy
is a
was?
wrestler."
No, go on.
It was I've forgotten his name now. I don't know. Go. It's the guy that was like the new Nexus Batista replica guy, Mason
Oh,
Ryan.
Mason Ryan.
Yeah.
Wow, I
Ah,
didn't know
okay.
that.
I
Mason
didn't even
Ryan
know
was
he was
like
on there.
the big guy. He was like Colossus or something.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can see it.
Oh
'Cause
my
he was a
God.
big dude.
Okay, so open image in new tab,
Yeah,
and
Magnus
let's
was
get this.
Brutus Magnus when he first debuted, wasn't he? And he was doing the whole
That's right.
gladiator thing with and coming on like talking like Russell Crowe, going, "I am Brutus Magnus, son of Bob." And
So there you see,
Whatever.
that was him on
There he is.
Gladiator.
Oh wow. Was that like the American Gladiators?
No, it was
No.
like the UK one that they did on like Sky TV,
yeah,
and they
They
did
did
it
on
for like
Sky.
Oh,
2 seasons, and then they scrapped it.
And Wolf was
Oh,
like the
I missed-
gladiator's coach, wasn't he, or something like that? He was, he was still on there.
oh. I used to legitimately I got so many memories of being a kid. We used to go to the Gladiator tapings all the time, like because I was
Wow.
3 when I was younger. I had no idea this remake series was even done. I knew about the new one coming, but I didn't know about this one.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
well,
New
it
one's
was on
not tomorrow,
Sky,
isn't it?
so like no one watched it.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
true.
So there you
I know
go.
what I'm binging this weekend.
Well, yeah, exactly. Okay, so what the hell were we talking about? How did we end up on Gladiators? Nick Aldis, Mickey
Jinder.
James.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking about
Okay.
couples in like into different companies, aren't we?
Mm.
now?
Yeah.
That sort of stuff.
Well, yeah, but there's loads of them now. Like that, and that must be. How does that work with like leaks and stuff? Because how can like Rhea Ripley just turn up backstage at Dynamite to be there with Buddy Murphy or Buddy Matthews
Yeah.
or whatever?
Yeah.
It's like you can't really do that. You know.
Haven't they banned them now? Haven't they like stopped
Wow.
WWE people going to AEW? Was that not a thing?
I'm not sure.
What? So if Charlotte Flair turned up to be there with Rick, well, can't be there with Andrade anymore, right? But if Charlotte turned up, they'd say like, "Sorry, you can't come."
I might be wrong. Like,
It's going for Andrade, isn't it? Because he's obviously just left and he's going back to WWE to be with his wife, and suddenly she's a bit on the injured list and isn't
Yeah.
a bit there.
yeah,
It's like, oh,
he hasn't actually left yet, has he? Though
I'm sure they're crying. In
I think he has. Yeah,
Yeah, he's
Andrade's
officially
out.
left now.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
he's-
like, what was the pay per view at the end of the year? That was
World's
his
End.
last.
World's
End.
End.
That was his last match.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
he
didn't
gave a
realise.
thank you message as well on Twitter. Yeah.
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 Oh,
acknowledged
God,
it
yeah,
in the
okay,
press,
cool.
I think. In the press conference, they even acknowledged it and said, "Yeah, if that's the last match, I want a match to go out on, or a run to go out on, all that sort of
I
stuff."
mean, Andrade was great. They didn't use him anywhere near as much. I do not understand why. There's so many people. As much as I had a lot of issues with AEW when it started. I always gave it a lot of chances. Now it's a lot better than it used to be, like storytelling. But I still don't understand why they don't push some people like Andrade, Keith Lee, Miro, and it seems to be all the ex-WWE people too. So
all three of those guys you've mentioned there, KD, have had issues with injuries and illnesses and things like that. To be fair to them, especially Keith Lee, he's having
Keith Lee. Yeah, you're right.
But Miro was out for a little while, wasn't he? He wasn't able to perform. So that's why it wasn't there. But that is,
also,
okay.
I don't know. I had a little bit of a. I mean, are you telling me that the Andrade Matt Hardy coalition was not a good angle for you?
I hated that whole Matt Hardy
God.
family
Yeah.
group therapy storyline thing. That was awful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then,
Feels like it's still going on.
well, no, because there was a thing a day or two ago that Jeff Hardy was like put out a tweet or something saying that they were stuck in the alternate dimension of Rampage, which is like, again, where is Daniel Bryan handing out these fines?
Yeah, true.
But
oh, it's crazy, man.
yeah, crazy old
I
times.
mean, he's right though. They have been stuck on Rampage and stuff. But I mean, it's kind of. I mean, Jeff should, in the nicest way, Jeff should be happy he's got a job still right now. Just calm down and be quiet right now. Just do what you're doing.
It sounds like, I think we know that he'll take measures to get himself fired. It sounds like he's just doing it again.
Oh yeah.
But who knows? Guys, what else has caught your attention like within the last week?
TNA's back this week.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. When is it actually back? Is it?
When is it the 13th? I think.
Is that it was the pay-per-view?
Tomorrow.
Is that the pay-per-view? Yeah.
Is that Hard to Kill?
Yeah.
Which if you subscribe to their new app, the TNA Plus app, you can get the pay-per-view for a lovely summary price of £39.99.
Jeez.
Okay, so I'm going to look this up. Was that included?
That's on their
like,
official app.
subscription?
That's on their official app. You only get it for one thing, which obviously pay-per-view. I get it. Right back in the day, pay-per-view was pay-per-view, and that's there was that was you had to watch it at the time and all that sort of stuff. But if you get the pay-per-view on, if you get Hard to Kill on Triller, which was Fight TV, it's $19.99. It's like half price. So it's like I don't really get where they're coming from.
And it's only one viewing, isn't it, on that one as well?
Exactly. And on Triller, you can replay it whenever you want.
Yeah.
And they haven't got like a catalogue like the network or anything.
Oh no, they have. It's all gone up there. So basically, they've taken everything that was on Impact Plus and put it onto this new one.
Yeah.
And by the way, got a sneaky one out there for anyone who wants to watch some like free TNA or previous Impact events. There is like if you just type in TNA Twitch specials, it'll take you to the Impact Wrestling page, and all their Twitch specials are on there for free. So,
amazing. Okay, so look, I'm going to bring up here. This is the TNA Plus recurring subscriptions and monthly attraction special, $9.99 a month.
Yeah.
Full content library, digital first content, whatever that means, and then exclusive live special. Is that not the pay-per-view then? Oh my God, Hard to Kill. Wait.
Oh, geez. No,
so you don't get that as a live special.
You get that if you get the yearly $219.99, which includes the pay-per-view specials.
How many pay-per-views do they do a year at the moment?
I think there's 4, I think.
Oof.
So Hard to Kill, Glory, Slammiversary, and
I was going to say that's a bit hard to swallow.
Yeah. Do they still do Lockdown?
I don't know. They should do.
Like honestly, like TNA has been the thing which over the last year or 2 years, it's like I don't even know how like in the UK, I don't know how to watch it. So
on a random Sky channel like on Fridays or something, I think.
Okay, well then I'll try to catch it that way.
Not Sky channel, no, it's on something like one of those streaming ones like Pluto TV or something like that. I can't remember, but hopefully it's going to get a new deal over here when it's back to being TNA. They might go, oh, we remember that from Challenge. Let's get that.
But you know,
it's. I mean, AEW is still terrible over here to watch as well live. Like it's still terrible.
You can't unless you're watching it on Fight.
You can't. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because it's on ITV. It's on ITV. Like at random times.
3 or 4 days later.
Yeah.
3 or 4 days later or something. You know, every wrestling fan's already know what happened by then.
But and I've said this before, like the big tip I'll give, because when I ordered the pay-per-view before last, the AEW pay-per-view before last, something went wrong and it cancelled my annual subscription to AEW Plus, which they don't offer anymore. And I had to fight for about 15 days to get a refund. And it turned out that there'd been some automatic refund. But then they said, well, so you've got a refund, but you'll now just have to subscribe. I was like, but it costs more each month. So for a month, I didn't subscribe. And I was like, screw these guys. But then when they had the last pay-per-view, you got like a discount if you were on the monthly thing. And I was like, this is how they get me back. But the tip is, do not subscribe through like your phone. If you do it through Apple, then they say you have to go back to Apple if there's a problem. And I'm like, but I've ordered it from you through your app.
Yeah.
Also, don't order it through the app because if you order it through the website, it's in dollars. Then it's cheaper.
Yeah.
Smart. So the VPN things they say to use, like for some, I don't know if it's the same for this, but I know like with the Logan Paul fight, for example, the boxing thing, you could do VPN, and if you set it to Sweden, you could get the fight. It was supposed to be like 40, but you could get the fight for like, it worked out to like £5 or something.
Oh, wow.
That's all legal. So
I have seen the last 2 Logan Paul fights, but I watched them on TikTok where someone was just live streaming it. And one of them, it was on TikTok. One of them was a guy like this, and it was just reflected in his sunglasses the whole time. It was amazing.
What was doing a Donovan Dijak thing of like just looking through the thing and seeing his opponent in the glasses?
Yeah, it was like that LA Knight thing, you know, that meme. You know,
Wow.
yeah. But the whole thing, it was just him giving his commentary. And he was like, honestly, I felt sad for this guy because he's like, oh, this is amazing. This is the best day of my life, guys. Thanks so much. And they didn't care about him. They were just watching the pay-per-view that was being streamed on his glasses. But, you know.
Oh, he has to know that deep down.
Yeah, maybe.
He knew that.
But, yeah. Okay, so... No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, Logan Paul is just one of those people, like, over like the last year or something, has just kind of done amazing things in wrestling. It's just kind of like, you know, there's been a lot of people over the last year that have really stepped their game up, and it's shocking that Logan Paul is one of them. And it's weird saying that right now, but he is.
Yeah. Well, look, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. It's because of Roman Reigns. Now, like, Logan Paul is ridiculously good considering he's got no experience, but everyone that goes up against Roman over the last 2 years, everyone's been thinking, this is going to be the person to do it. And when they fail, all of the fans still hold on to the hope that one day they'll come back and finish their story, which has become a thing. Whereas traditionally, over like the last 20 years, it'd be someone's champion, then a challenger comes up. You know the first or second challenger isn't going to win it. So when they don't, you kind of dismiss them and they go to the back of the queue. But because Roman's held it for so long, I think just he is making stars. Everyone he touches, you know, becomes this possible next world champion main eventer guy. Yeah. You know, so
because they're so few and far between as well. So I suppose that's even more makes it even more a point to what you're saying.
Yeah, and do you know what? I think because Dave, I think we were speaking about this last week. Like, what's in bed? Right? No, last week, right? What's the deal with Roman? Why is he wrestling less and less matches? Like, does he just not want to do it anymore? Is he about to go off and do movies? Like, what is he doing with his time?
I mean, if you're talking like in actual real life, I guess it's just the fact that he is trying to wind down and get into movies and things like that. I guess.
But isn't he? What movies is he in? If this was like
in movies now, obviously, he's trying to get.
What is he just like really shit at auditioning? It's like, you know, he turns up once every 3 months.
Not everyone's good at auditioning, all right, David. But yeah, no, it's I don't know. It's
is he still supposed to be doing that? Is he still supposed to be doing the acting stuff then? Is that apparently what he's doing still?
Not that I know of.
This is just, I'm just speculating.
He was like when he was.
No, I mean just I assume too. Like, but
he was in that Fast and the Furious spin-off where he had like one line of dialogue.
No, he didn't.
Well, maybe he might have had one. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, as far as I know, he hasn't been in films. If it was that he turned up every 3 months and wrestled, but then in between, it's like, oh, he's on set filming or something. But I just don't literally get what he's doing with his time.
Is it sorry?
So maybe he's Jason Momoa's stunt double.
Well, yeah. Guys, I saw Aquaman 2 the other day.
It's nothing to do with his leukemia, is it?
No, people said that it's not.
I don't know.
He's healthy.
Not they've ever said.
Right,
he's healthy at the moment, do any like he's look at him, he's a beast of a man. Like,
oh yeah. But I was just there thinking, is it like just to preserve time, preserve himself, his body, why he's like cut down his schedule and
through the pandemic,
spend more time with the family? Maybe.
I think it's just that if they're offering him all the money and he's like, you know, he's a huge deal still when he is there. So why would he not, you know, just take the money and get to be there with his family, you know, be around his kids and that.
Well. It actually creates some more of a bigger star for him as well. Like him being away. Totally. So not that
he's an attraction now.
But yeah.
No. We need to get in sync here, guys. We need to get in sync on I'm hearing both voices at the same time.
Oh, my bad.
It's all good. Yeah, so okay, like I think the breakout star of 2024 so far is definitely R-Truth, though. What about you guys?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that video was very funny on Raw.
That was brilliant.
I just love this story that someone is like deciding that they're in a faction and clearly they're not. But then, like, obviously, mostly, I guess, Damian Priest is just like, well, let's just see what happens with this. And obviously, the element was that he doesn't like JD anyway, and so then this guy is just deciding that JD is out.
Question for you: isn't that
Yeah.
just Bailey then as well?
Yeah, well, true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and also, I'm not going to lie, it was also Sami Zayn in the
Yeah.
Bloodline a year and a half
Yeah.
ago. You know, this.
That was the vibes I was getting.
Yeah.
Well, but they're doing this thing instead of that, they're reuniting Awesome Truth now, aren't they? And doing this tag on Monday, which could be quite fun. But I don't know. Is this a way of getting Damian Priest out of Judgment Day as well, though? I don't know. If he's starting to sort of see the light side of it and like is quite liking Truth, and everyone else is like
They're facing them next week, aren't they? So it's supposed to be like them putting an end to it next week, apparently.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I don't know. Maybe Priest turns, because I assumed from the end of the previous week with Drew getting sort of screwed over in the match because of Priest's attempted cash in that they would do a feud between them two, and it seems that Drew's still carrying on with this very nuanced character, which I never thought I'd be saying about any wrestler, really. But that's the first time I've really like watched this character and do a promo with this new character. And I've got to say, I thought Drew was really good on that opening bit with Punk. On
very.
It was, and the whole sort of idea of this guy that really does believe, and it's a thing that heels should have anyway, is that their way is the way that they should be, the things should be. But this whole idea of him being this character that feels has been screwed over and hasn't had justice go his way and all this sort of stuff, and now he's going about it in the wrong way to everyone else's eyes and things like that, and him sort of being, I don't know why are you holding me up as some sort of asshole or whatever. I'm not an asshole. They're the assholes. So that's that sort of attitude. And it's surprisingly nuanced, as I say.
The storytelling has got a lot more nuance. I think it's just amazing, isn't it? As I'm assuming everyone here has watched like WWE for quite a long time. Since like Vince McMahon's gone, Triple H took over like creative. It's just assemble. Just our bar was set to, if we have storylines that continue each week, we'd be happy. And now we've actually got storylines that have nuance, like you said, and people that have nuance to go up and down. Especially the bad guys, like you were saying, when you can understand their point as well, it gives them like another layer, doesn't it?
Yeah. And you know what? Even the production's changed since Kevin Dunn's gone. So, like, even Monday's Raw.
Has it?
It was.
Yeah, with Ciampa.
It's easier to watch.
Yeah.
It's easier to watch. There's not so many cuts, and they're doing these. What did you do from Ciampa, Gav? Sorry.
Yeah, with Ciampa's bit, like the promo before he's coming out, and
they're walking to Gorilla, doing the promo on their way to Gorilla position, and going through that entrance ramp.
That was really good.
That was stuff.
Yeah,
there were a few mistakes. I don't know if you
true,
noticed it though. There were a few cuts when they went to something and they were just filming the ceiling for no reason. There was 2 or 3.
Yeah, there was.
Most.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to happen. It's not quite.
Exactly.
It's not quite like AEW missing the reveal of the Devil's Henchman, cutting away as they start to put it up. It's like, God damn it!
I was going to say, I better not say this. I'm not sure if I should or not. AEW cameramen. Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Why are they dressed head to toe in black lycra suits?
Because they're trying to get away from filming Sky Blue. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, to be fair, they do have a fascination with that, don't they?
Oh, yes.
And I understand it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. More than okay with it.
I'm fine with it, but, you know.
I'm behind that thought.
Hey, there you go.
I'm trying to mute myself, so I don't
get into trouble. No, she's very talented. Now, let's talk about like what we do have coming up. So, obviously, there is the return of TNA. They have their. Let's see if I can get Hard to Kills like the match lineup or whatever, and we can make some predictions or something. Oh no, you click on it. See, this is the problem with the TNA website. I just clicked on where it says Hard to Kill, and it's come up with a ticket thing, rather than actually just telling me the matches.
They got the TV taping on the day after as well, which has got like Okada and various other people that are doing the New Japan show as well. There's a New Japan Strong show this weekend as well. Battle in the Valley. This is why Okada's over here and is able to do the TNA tapings. I don't know if that's going to lead to anything on that side of things. There's rumours of like a big signing that's being announced tomorrow as well.
Who'd you
What
Yeah.
for? Oh yes, what is this? This huge signing for TNA?
Yeah.
Like Dixie Carter isn't there anymore, so it can't just be like Mr. Kennedy. It has to. If they're saying that, it has to be someone significant. But I
Yeah.
can't think who significant is even available.
Hogan wants a last match.
Mm.
Hulk Hogan's
No.
last match.
Hogan and Flair.
What
Yeah.
about
There's
what
a lot
about
of people
Goldberg?
Goldberg in TNA. Oh God. Like I honestly feel
Him
like
and
that would
Moose
be.
having a spear off.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, Moose is
Is
a badass.
Dolph actually signed to New Japan?
That's what he's supposed. It could be him as well. It could be him.
I don't know. I was wondering if it was going to be somebody like ex-WWE because there's been quite a few people that have gone lately, ain't there? So there's still got to be some people.
Of course, it will be.
who has gone from WWE? That's
Top dollar.
TNA. Top dollar.
Top dollar. Oh God.
Oh my God.
Oh, did you see this thing? Okay, so there was a theory about this. So apparently, him and this musician guy are going to debut their new music video at TNA's
Yeah.
Hard to Kill. TNA
confirmed
haven't said
it.
anything about this. They haven't said anything about it. So there's a theory going around that they're saying they're going to debut it, but they're going to be like debuting it outside in the queue. They'll be like doing a live stream or something like that, and they're like, "Here's the video, and we are here at the thing." Yeah, TNA haven't actually mentioned or announced this at all.
Wow.
Oh, okay, because I heard it talked about it as if it was like a definite. So
Yeah.
that's surprising.
It's, but I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you'll find all of that is coming from Dollar, whatever his name is.
Yeah,
Right.
I could believe it.
Wow. He's this generation's Enzo Amore. Right. So
God, that makes me feel old.
Did you see though?
could it be
whole thing-
Enzo? Has Enzo ever been in TNA?
No, I think so.
Wow.
Did he even wrestle anymore?
I don't think so.
I think it was
I
with
think he turns
MLW
up
for a
somewhere.
little while.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he's there now.
Yeah. I feel like
Okay,
there's got to
so-
be people we're forgetting.
Go ahead.
I was saying, I feel like there's got to be people we were forgetting that left WWE that could turn up in TNA. That would be quite good because there's a lot of people, as we know, WWE waste because they have so many good people. There's a lot of good wrestlers nowadays when given the chance.
Mustafa Ali, maybe.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a good fit for
I
TNA.
think he's doing his little independent sort of tour at the moment. He's got a lot of music shows, so he might be. Unless he's.
He looks like he's doing pretty well as well.
Let me have a look.
Yeah,
he's gonna be
huge
over
as
here.
well now.
Yeah.
He'll be over here for a few dates for Pro in Progress, so he'll be around.
That could be good. That could be a good shout right there.
Let's have a look, Mustafa Ali.
Okay,
I'd
so-
consider that.
Okay, I've got the match listings for Hard to Kill. We could go over all of them, but there's like 10 matches, so I don't know if I can be bothered. But so main event, Moose and Alex Shelley, World Championship. I think Shelley's keeping. How about any of you?
I hope Shelley's keeping it.
Yeah.
I'd
Well,
go.
what's the whole
Spears,
thing?
leading to Goldberg versus Moose. That's what my prediction is.
Okay, yeah, that could be a thing. But like last time it was a TNA championship, it was Moose that had it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I only remember that
Sorry.
today after watching the interview thing with him and then Shelley. I completely forgot he'd done that. This
Yeah.
thing where the champion wasn't around because it was that whole thing with Tessa Blanchard, wasn't it?
Yeah.
She wasn't around and
She was the world champion and
Yeah.
it was
Oh,
COVID and so she didn't turn up. And then they just brought back the TNA belt and until Christian won it and then Kenny Omega held it and Michael Nakazawa then was wearing it on Dynamite. A crazy time. What happened between TNA and AEW so they don't really do anything together anymore? What went wrong there?
You went wrong. It was just, I think it was just the end of their contract
Yeah.
together, I guess.
Ran its course.
I'm just surprised that they wouldn't do more crossover. Like I would have thought that would have always been I guess the always forbidden door is with New Japan, but yeah, I don't know.
I think Ring of Honor became their Impact as well. You know what they needed from Impact, they got from Ring of Honor as well.
Yeah, true.
In the end.
Okay. Jordan Grace and Trinity. Now it looks like Grace is going to win because if the rumors are to be believed, we may have a new member in the bloodline.
Oh, really? In the bloodline, is she going to go there?
Nah, they're not. I haven't heard that rumor at all. But
No.
it's been a rumor a year ago, and then it obviously didn't come to anything.
Right. Okay.
But no, the speculation is now that she is leaving TNA
Yeah,
and will be back
might
at
be
the
the
Rumble
one.
as soon as the Rumble.
Yeah.
Be surprised when
You
she's
had
in the Rumble.
to. I think we all kind of imagined she would eventually, didn't we? Though I'm shocked it took this long, to be honest.
But at least she's got her like independent side of her,
Yeah.
like from WWE now, and they can see that she can actually make a name of herself even somewhere else. So
Yeah.
not that.
I mean, we all know that anyway. She's awesome to and that entrance is like that entrance alone, is badass. I hate the music, but I love the entrance.
Mm.
And just
And
to
the
your
crowd
point of-
will go wild for it though in the Rumble.
yeah.
Mm.
And to your point as well, David, like, would you like to see like a woman in the bloodline?
I think it adds a dynamic. Well, just look at Rhea Ripley in Judgment Day. Not that they're going to suddenly do Bloodline versus Judgment Day again, but it would certainly create a matchup there of sorts.
It's difficult though, because I think she's got too much of a likability factor about her. She's been heel before.
Yeah.
She didn't really.
But look at Rhea. She's a face within Judgment Day, even though she doesn't play a face.
Yeah, like Solo is a badass as well, and I really like Solo, but he's still the dick in kayfabe.
Yeah.
To be fair, not a bad shout.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so next up we've got Hail Sabin versus El Hijo del Vikingo and Kushida for the X Division Championship.
Mm-hmm. That'd be pretty much of a banger.
Yeah. Who we going for on that one?
Could be either Kushida or Sabin. I don't think.
You don't think Vikingo?
I think she's just there for the
cameo.
Yeah, the cameo. But it's nice to see that TNA are actually using him better than AEW seem to be using him. He's like the AAA mega champion. He's like this huge name in Mexico, quite a special attraction. And they keep throwing him into random trios and four-way matches. It's really weird.
That's all I've seen of him, so that's kind of all it is in my head now. I'm like, I don't really care about seeing Vikingo again.
Well, that was like the thing about Vikingo is when he first came in, I was like, how is this a dream match with him and Omega? They gave it zero build. And it was like, he's, high flying. He can do 950s, 10,080 spins and stuff like this. Yeah. But then just like so many people, like AEW has got their biggest problem is a bloated roster means that you see people too infrequently for them to build people up. And that should have been their biggest strength in that, hey, we're not on the road for 300 days a year and we'll just bring people up here and there and stuff like that. But just getting the balance right is something that's gone worse over time rather than better.
Yeah. And especially when you got a lot of people doing the same style too, because you kind of feel like you're seeing the same thing still each time. I know that's it's not quite the case, because they each have a lot of unique stuff that they all do separately. But it feels, a lot of the stuff feels the same still.
Yeah.
Which is
that's the big change of the business, though. I guess is that 20 years ago, AJ Styles was phenomenal because there was him, Jeff Hardy, and Rob Van Dam, and then obviously luchadors or whatever doing high flying stuff. But that was it. Yeah. But now 3/4 of everyone does everything.
Every match has a suicide dive.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Every match has a suicide dive. Yeah.
A tope what?
17.
Yeah, right. Okay. But yeah, so now when you get Randy Orton turn up and he just does like his 7 moves, it's like refreshing.
Yeah.
It's because of psychology, isn't it? Though a lot of people in AEW, I think, is a big issue that the psychology isn't there as much, which is why though I am so looking forward to Will Ospreay, starting in AEW properly, because I think he's going to be like a wrestler of the year kind of person by the end of this year. Because we never get to see much of him, do we? Like he was always like in indie, so it's quite hard to see a lot of him if you're not really watching the Japanese stuff.
Depends on what you watch, though, isn't it? Because if you're a regular watcher of New Japan and things like that, and you do see him quite often. He's like he's usually at the wrestler of the year. He's usually top 3 at least every year on a lot of podcasts and websites and things like that. And
is he going to main event?
I saw him a lot over the years and things like that, growing up and developing and things like that. So it depends completely on the outlook. It might be a change this year because obviously it'd be the first time on.
There's more people, isn't it?
But think about the pop he got at Wembley and the fact that wasn't a signed AEW wrestler, but majority of the people knew him and were cheering him and all that sort of stuff. At Wembley, 80,000 people were cheering for him.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is he going to be main eventing All In this year? Has to.
Oh God, yes.
I reckon so.
He has to.
Yeah.
Who's wrestling at Wembley?
Omega. Oh, then that's depending if Omega.
Oh, it could be Omega. He's already wrestled Omega last year, I guess.
I'm going to hazard a guess. It might be Swerve.
Really?
Ooh.
I think Swerve's winning the title. I think he's.
Do you think Swerve's getting the title next?
He'll get the title next, and I think he'll hold it till Wembley. And him and Ospreay have a bit of a history that they can go on as well. Yeah. They've been tag team. They've been opponents for lots of stuff.
Is Swerve a face now?
Well, again, he's got the Ripley reaction, isn't he?
Prince Nana is, so it's only a matter of time.
That's the one thing I do really like in AEW. Like, I say that's the one thing. There's plenty I do, but like the whole, do I know heroes and faces in wrestling? I don't really know. You can have a heel going against a technical heel because Rhea's a technical heel, but we want to see her and Nia Jax. That would be great.
It's because it's our own fault. Like it's wrestling fans' faults because we know it, and it's more than just wrestling. It's like everything. Yeah. Obviously, I'm about to do Geek Battle and stuff, but it's the same thing. Like people watch movies and they're like, yeah, General Zod, yeah, Lex Luthor, and like we just love these characters. And so when people are impressive in the ring, but like when people are impressive in the ring, or when it, especially like nostalgic heels, like coming out and doing their same shtick that they do as a heel, but now we're like, yeah, it's this person. It's just like we kind of we're just enjoying all of it, and so it makes it so much harder to be a heel.
Or it's the pop of anticipation, isn't it? Whenever Christian Cage's music hits, you can hear that sort of bubble and go, "Oh, what's he going to say now? Here we go."
Yeah,
it's true. I think they try to say it's a bad thing. A lot of the old school wrestling people, like the heels are going for the reactions and that, But it's just entertaining, though, isn't it? If you're entertaining enough as a heel, you will get those reactions. If anything, it means you're doing your job even better.
Yeah, I suppose that's how the wrestler reacts to them, I suppose, isn't it? So there's both sides. You can say that no, if an audience is cheering for a heel, the heel should be like, yeah, damn right, you cheer for me. I'm brilliant. Or I'm right. Yeah. Or on the other hand, it could be like, oh, you're going to cheer for me? Screw you guys, and whatever it is. Yeah. It can be either way. I think it depends on the reaction and the audience. I think as well.
I think one way people like. They all need to get smarter. Like they need to understand what the audience and what the internet wrestling crowd and all this kind of thing like engage with. So if there is stuff like what has just happened with Jinder and Hook and Tony Khan or whatever, or this is a bigger example. Jericho got a heel reaction. Now I'm not saying that you spread rumors that aren't true and ruin someone's life just to get them over as a heel. But like the Young Bucks and CM Punk, depending which side of the fence you fell on, would get booed out of the building at times. So there are ways to get into the psychology of making you unlikable to a crowd.
Yeah,
but they have to. It's fourth dimensional chess or whatever they say. They have to really overthink things. You can't just turn up and be like, "So Arsenal, they suck, boo," and stuff like this. It's not going to work anymore.
Yeah. And I suppose you've got to be smart enough as well to then, especially in a match, read the room and kind of figure out, okay, maybe I should play this as a heel, like a Rock and Hogan, perfect example from Mania. Reading the room and reacting to it. It's hard to do. Not everyone can do it, though. It's hard to do. And in the nicest way, I don't know how many of the people in WWE too, but I don't know how many people in AEW could do that. I don't know.
I think there is some that can, and there are
definitely some. A lot that can probably.
Well, can do it. They've got the experience of being on the independents and doing that sort of very same thing, reacting to the room. a lot of them obviously are much younger, so they're obviously the younger ones not so much, but I think the more established
Yeah,
ones.
exactly. Yeah. Like you look at Eddie Kingston, he wouldn't have an issue. He does that all the time. That's
I
exactly
think
like
Eddie
he's
just
all
thinks
about
it's
that.
real anyway.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the, well, that's what's always worked about Eddie Kingston is because he treats well, does he think everything's real, or does he make us believe he thinks everything's real?
That's it.
Yeah,
And that's what's good about Eddie Kingston is that he's someone there who 99% of the time I believe what he comes out with.
Yeah.
You know, the only time I didn't is when he tried to stop John Moxley from getting blown up.
I love that though, because he did that whole palaver and that whole thing. Fun fact: do you know the little fact I suddenly realised? I was just thinking back to that. The week that happened, that was the first Slam Jam show of this variety. Remember all the way back?
Wow, that's awesome.
Because I remember because I made a joke about that thing that happened with the explosion. I remember when the Impact after that had all happened, everything like that, and they had to like sell the fact that Eddie was selling the fact that he was knocked out and unconscious and all this sort of stuff and things like that. And they did this promo where he's basically saying, "Look, this is the reason it happened. I just had all this well of emotion in me and all that sort of stuff. A lot of bad things that have happened in my life sort of came back.
I'm man enough to admit it
out because of the stuff, and that's what happened. If you think I'll win, fine, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
It was brilliant cover up. I loved it.
Yeah, I loved that, man. I loved that he was still trying to explain it away. He did a good job of it, you know.
Yeah, I would have just swept it under the rug. I'd have been like, "This bad."
You can't these days, can you? You've got to acknowledge this stuff. If there's something that
no, just play Jericho's music as loud as you can. You'll get through it.
It's like comedy 101 to any man. Just acknowledge it and move on.
It's such a shame. It's such a shame. Like even it was oh god, it was a year ago now. But like when we had Bray Wyatt's last match with LA Knight. And there was the Uncle Howdy moment where they sort of dove and like into a crash mat and stuff like this. It's like you can't do stuff like that because there are cameras everywhere in everyone's hands. So it is super hard to pull the ball over anything.
Especially as it didn't even look good on WWE's cameras anyway. That's where you could see the crash mat on their cameras. Yeah.
Do you know what I was thinking about? Well, something that brings to my mind, like even WWE's cameras or AEW's cameras, there are ways where they could fix things. Like, and the best example I can think of is the reveal of like Kane taking his mask off, right? I don't know if that was an anniversary or something, but I saw it the other day come up on Twitter. And it had the thing where he's got to take his mask off. And Rob Van Dam, I guess they were a tag team at the time or something, is in the ring. And then like Kane's like, no, I got to do it. And he takes the mask off and it's just like some like ink on his face. And then he just like attacks Rob Van Dam and goes, like this. The way they should have done it is they should have had it so that he's got to do it. I can't do it. And he storms out. And then literally on the next Raw or whatever the next show is, they should have had Kane backstage and they literally should have had him being like grabbed by people and forced down to the ring so that he hasn't just wrestled a match. And then they could have had like Star Trek prosthetics and all this shit on his face. So he looked burned. And then it's like, the problem is just like, was it Gillian Hall that had the growth on her face, right? Now, obviously that was able to stay there a while. But if they're like, well, he's going to sweat this stuff off, they should have just had it where he then changed his mask or something. So he had a new mask or something that would like hide the scars and have patches of his face through or something.
I think that was the point. They wanted to get rid of the mask completely, didn't they? And Kane wanted to, rather than they like freshen it up. But if I remember correctly, on that match there was something about if he lost, then he was literally, if he didn't unmask, he'd be fired or something.
Yeah, well, just like say he's like fired and then have him come back. You know, just
true. It's Kane. Yeah.
Isaac Yankem.
Yeah, it's Isaac Yankem. Would have Lawler been on commentary at the time?
Yeah.
Imagine if he's just like, what?
I would have loved it if he'd gone, Isaac?
Isaac Yankem. Yeah. Brilliant stuff. Okay, guys, we've got just like a few minutes before we'll have to wrap this up. But let me check to see if there's any breaking news, because there usually is as soon as we finish. But is there anything
love
that
you
you guys, any hot takes that we haven't shared yet?
The Rumble. When is that?
When
that
is
Oh,
the
yeah.
Rumble?
It's the last weekend of this
Last
month.
weekend. Right. Okay.
I think so.
I'll give you a hot take.
2024.
I'll give you a hot take. A prediction I made on my last thing. I think Roman Reigns will hold on to the title for the entirety of 2024. I'm sorry, but he just will.
Beat Hogan's record, do you think?
Yeah.
If
That's
he
a
holds
new
on
thing.
to it into 2025, then I think he needs to beat the entire record thing. But for me, and I think I probably said this last week, Roman should beat The Rock at Mania. He should then wrestle Punk throughout the summer so that they can do the bloodline. And look, I don't think people even care that much about CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. They just want CM Punk versus Paul Heyman's new guy.
Yeah.
And then you can put him against Cody at SummerSlam or Survivor Series and have Cody finish his story then. And then Roman can go and be Jason Momoa's twin in the sequel to Twins. Imagine that, a remake of Twins. So there you go. Problem solved.
I just heard a story the other day about how Danny DeVito on the set of Twins spiked Arnold Schwarzenegger by giving him a cigar that was loaded with bud all down it, and he didn't realise, and he was just forgot all his lines afterwards.
What, you mean Arnold Schwarzenegger just stood there like, yeah. They're like, that's great, Arnold. Great. Good. Got it in one.
He was just like, kept turning like, can somebody help me? I need a line.
Yeah.
So news thing saying Sean Waltman, ex-Pac, is saying that he's not going to be a Survivor's entrant in the Rumble. He's not ready to go or anything like that. So that pretty much guarantees he's going to be in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. So, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Out of the blue.
No, he's been on the rumor list for a little while, but online.
I was going to say AJ Lee's supposed to be as well, isn't it? AJ Lee. That is.
Oh, AJ Lee.
Yeah.
Do you know, I'm so in two minds about that. I don't know if it takes away from Punk at the moment, because how can she be in the Royal Rumble, and if she wins and then Punk doesn't, or if she wins and Punk wins, it's just like
she's not going to win it though, is she?
Yeah, she ain't going to win exactly.
Yeah.
I think Becky
I
will win.
would save that a little while. I'd save that until the summer. I'd save AJ coming back until the summer. It doesn't need to be in the Rumble.
One thing
at the same time, they might want to bring him back before Punk has a chance to, cause any arguments. Do it now, out the way, while they can.
Yeah. One thing that sprang to mind actually is we were talking about Ripley and her being a face, getting her face reactions while still being a heel and everything like that. It did actually occur to me they're doing this thing with Nia Jax, and I don't think Nia is going to win the Rumble, but I do think she'll challenge Ripley at Elimination Chamber because that's in Australia.
True, actually. Yeah.
So Ripley will be a big face for that.
Yeah.
True. Okay, I'm just trying to see if there's any breaking headlines. The most interesting one is Booker T says Velveteen Dream would have a hard time returning to wrestling.
Good.
Well, if you want those heel reactions, guys, this is what I'm saying. There's a few different murders or other allegations you can get yourself involved.
You want heel reactions, not reactions of indifference.
Yeah.
I'd say that's one of the funniest clips though, and people were raving about it, what a great return it was at the time. But when he came back from injury and attacked the Undisputed Era, he appeared on the top rope suddenly. He was like, "Oh, I'm here, guys," and go to dive off on them. He gave the shittiest, crappiest attacks on them so bad. I felt so sorry for all four of them having to feed and sell for this prick. It was he came back and looked awful. I was like, what are you doing?
I had so much high hopes for him as well. That's the thing.
Yeah, he won me round for a little while. I wasn't sure him at first. He won me round. Then after that, I was like, no, he's not going to.
Yeah, it's just weird, wasn't it? It's a weird thing to hear some of the stuff. It's we can go without that.
Okay, so right, it is a couple of weeks before the Royal Rumble, but who are our picks for winning it?
Becky to win.
I really hope Becky doesn't.
No, I hope she doesn't, but I think she will. I think her and Rhea is the match to go with.
What you saying, Rhea and Becky at WrestleMania?
Yeah.
Do I
They
really
haven't
want
done
to
it
see
yet.
that?
Okay, or how about this? Sasha Banks. It's happening. All this teasing that she's going to AEW, and then like a week ago, or this week, it was a big thing. Is she going to be there? And she wasn't. What are they saving it for? They're not saving it. Triple
I have a
H is
feeling
saving it.
Trini's going to go back as well. So Sasha's going to go back, I think. But
Yeah.
Could do. They could eventually go for the tag titles again and try and do what they were trying to do before.
Yeah, they really got to
Now, look, if Sasha's coming, well, say Naomi, like this is the interesting thing. Imagine if they came back and it was Trinity and Mercedes Moné. Everyone would be like, "Who are these people?"
these?
And then in the men's rumble, there's Matt Cardona. Everyone's like, well, "What? Who are these cheap knockoff renegade versions of the wrestlers we recognize?" But like,
They'd never do that though.
I don't think you could get a bigger WrestleMania Women's World Championship match than having Sasha Banks in it this year, if they can make that happen.
Do you know what I really want to see? Still,
Tell me.
Bianca and Rhea.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I just feel like Rhea is at the very top she's been, and I feel like they've not like dropped the ball on Bianca, but they're trying other things.
Yeah.
So she doesn't feel like she's been in the mix anywhere near as much as she was a year and a half ago.
I think she needs to be away from the title, Bianca, anyway, for a bit and build more character.
Yeah, she's kind of boring at the moment, man.
Yeah, I still like her. Don't get me wrong, but I think she needs that character development. So,
Turn a heel.
Okay, what about the men's rumble, guys? Are we picking Cody? Are we picking Punk?
I think
or are
Punk.
we picking someone else?
I think Punk wins the Rumble. Cody wins Elimination Chamber to face Reigns.
I'm on that wavelength.
My hot take here.
Yeah, I think I'd agree. You know,
Punk is meant to win the Rumble. He's going to do a botch and get himself eliminated. That is my bold prediction.
An actual
so many years.
What, like a Kofi?
Years, I felt nervous that people are going to get eliminated. Was it the women's rumble last year where there was just a really long period where they were just on the apron? Was it last year?
Yeah. That was with Liv and Liv and Rhea, wasn't it? Or was it Asuka, Liv and Rhea. Yeah.
So, something like this, where it's just I was like, whoever this is like playing with fire.
Yeah.
Which I always feel like something is going to go wrong at some point. But I think Punk is going to. He's not been in the ring that much. He's going to have a thing. He's going to go over the top. He's going to lose his grip. He's going to get himself eliminated.
Like a shoot.
Yeah, absolutely.
A butt shoot.
Yeah.
Okay, imagine if the final four in the Rumble are Punk, a Cody, say Jey Uso and LA Knight.
LA Knight won't be there because he's in the title match. They rarely do that. Don't they?
Yeah. You're right. Oh, okay. I don't know who a good or who is a good
Gunter.
Who?
Gunter.
Yeah. Do you know what? Okay, imagine if he just wins the Rumble, shocks everyone.
Well, here's the thing. What if we are to believe the utter bullshit that comes out of Matt Riddle's mouth, maybe Brock Lesnar can go into business for himself and win the Rumble again, like he did a few years ago, apparently.
Totally.
Have you read that?
I've been enjoying the Matt
really
Riddle memes this week.
I read that Riddle's interview. He claims that Lesnar he'd done a match with Bobby and then came backstage and said, "Right, I'm winning the Rumble," and to sort of force his way into being in the Rumble match.
Yeah. And
Just
just
eliminated everyone. It's like, come on, including himself.
Oh, actually, could Riddle be the TNA guy?
Oh God, I hope not.
Didn't Riddle just turn up somewhere? Is
He's just gone to Japan. Yeah.
Okay, he could be at the TNA signing.
He's in MLW as well. He's just turned up there as well. So
MLW.
I hope not.
Yeah.
The TNA's got a good reputation of having like decent people in there at the moment. So
what if we
at
have
the same time, he's a great wrestler.
Gunther versus Roman, title for title.
See, that's not bad. What a complete left field main event that would be.
That'd be
for Mania.
Be awesome.
You know, I wouldn't be against it. It would be like, why didn't they do all of these other possibilities? But at the same time, that'd be a great match.
Yeah.
It's one of the best problems to have, isn't it? There's so many good people right now in WWE that it's hard trying to figure out when all of them are going to get their opportunity. Great problem.
Oh, also, I just realized the TNA guy. Look, guys, we haven't even spoke about this possibility, but according to the AEW roster page, MJF is no longer an AEW talent. TNA, here comes MJF.
He's injured.
I'll be honest, guys. I didn't actually hear what the match you were talking about a moment ago because I was too busy shitting on Matt Riddle. What were you saying?
Oh, sorry.
Gav said, I think Gav, you said about Gunther winning the Rumble to go against Roman.
Oh, I see.
Right, left field. Yeah, that'd be so left field. I wouldn't be against it though. Like most normal years, like I'd be like, yeah, that's a amazing possibility. Yeah. I'd be all over Gunther winning as well.
The other rumor about Gunther like having a Mania match with Lesnar, I'm totally down for that. Only if Gunther will win though.
Yeah, he'd win.
You'd think, to be fair,
he'd have to. Like,
maybe
it couldn't be not for the title.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, I forgot about that actually.
Yeah.
True.
And in one sense, they'd be like, "Oh, Brock has never held this title," and Brock definitely would be like, "I don't want that title."
yeah.
Which is such a shame. There's. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say you do with Samoa Joe. That's all I was saying, but carry on.
Now, like, I remember like a few years ago, it's different now, but to me, if someone's won the world title, I'd never like the idea of them going for the Intercontinental title.
No, I was the same.
Yeah, but it happens because there's people like Jeff Hardy and The Miz and Edge. Well, Edge, like people like there's a bunch of them. Like Kofi Kingston could go back to that.
Cena just did.
Who was that?
Cena.
Yeah. Did Cena ever win the Intercontinental title?
No, he went the US title. He sort of went went down to US and back up again, didn't he? Yeah,
I guess so. Yeah.
Did he win?
But that kind of made it feel like a more special thing, didn't it?
Was that sorry?
Where like the US Open Challenge thing.
Oh yeah.
It was almost as special as the Adam Copen Challenge.
I think that was actually good for the title. You know?
I think it was as well. Yeah, right, guys, let's begin to wrap things up. Let's find out where we can find everyone on social media, but also I'll have a quick check to see if there's any late breaking news. But I don't think there is. Right, so KD, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at KD_the_babyface. You can find me on Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcast from, a KD Comedy Podcast on Squishy Logic, or every week on the Wrestling with Egos podcast, or on Switch Radio every Tuesday, 2 to 3 p.m. That's everything, I think.
Awesome stuff. Gav, where can the people find you?
You can find me here next time. I was just there seeing Darby Allin apparently got hurt during that bump.
Oh, yeah, I did see that bump. Was that where they like literally spun him around?
Yeah.
Oh God,
it's a great idea, but I saw it in slow motion and it looked brutal, so it doesn't surprise me.
I must have missed this
one. Have you seen it, guys?
I think so. I watched the match, but I must have missed that. So sure.
Like
I'll see if I can quickly find it.
Yeah, I'll find it off.
Darby Allin.
There was no way to control where he was going or really how he was landing.
His neck did kind of like ricochet off his chest.
We should really be protecting him if he's going to be having this, not only this match against the Young Bucks with Sting, but also then climbing the mountain.
I'll bring it up here. Hopefully, it's small enough on the screen. Not to be a problem.
Oh no!
He caught the rope. It looked absolutely horrific.
It's like they were trying to get him across the ring, weren't it?
Yeah.
I was doing a really weird version of the birthday bumps.
Yeah,
it is a weird version of birthday bumps, and that can be deadly.
Yeah.
Right.
Dave,
where can the people find you, or did I already come to you?
You can find me at Degrino on my usual sort of socials on X. At David Anthony Green for acting and comedy stuff. You can find me tomorrow night in Southend doing the improv for Bare Cheek Comedy at the Ironworks. And if you register for tickets, you might get a few left. We are sold out at the moment, but you may be able to get a couple of extras. And also, it's a month away from the Southend 48-hour improvathon, even though I'm not going to be doing very much in it. It's always nice to support it and get along if you can. So just follow at Southend 48 Thon, I think is the correct title. Let me just double check that very, very quickly for you. Hold on, hold on. Southend 48 Thon, is that the correct one? Yes.
Okay, cool. My name is David Pistansky. You'll find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at David Pistansky, spelled Pustansky. You can also go to the website extreme.tv and the YouTube channels for Extreme Improv, Geek Battle, Slam Jam, and so on and so forth. Smash those subscribe buttons. And until next time, stay safe, always stay extreme, keep slamming and jamming, you Slam Jam bronies. And with that, boom, we are off the air.